Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. This is the week. This is it. And I know, okay, a lot of people are going to ask, oh, astrologers, they always say something big is going to happen. Something big is always happening. Okay? There's always tremendous amounts of energy. It's just how is it going to filter down to you? How is it going to play out in your life? And the answer to the question is, it's not going to explode everybody's life. Heads aren't going to be popping off of millions of humans around the globe. Like, very rarely does something as big as the pandemic or a world war happen. And of course, astrologers had predicted those things too. But that's not like the, feather in our cap type of thing. What I'm talking about when I talk about these energies is the energies on a large scale, to magnify them, to discuss them, and the meanings behind them, and the emotions behind them. Now, how does it play out into your life? Well, easily, guys, it can play out, usually, it's only going to play out in like one portion of your life. It's not going to blow up or explode your whole life. It's just going to play out in one aspect of your life, or a couple of aspects in your life that need the rearranging. The aspect that the energy this week and this test, the ego test, is aiming at is the energy of what you think you're best at. What you think, oh, I'm really exceptional at this. I excel at this. Especially if it comes down to different kinds of relationships. But that actually plays out in specific days during this week, a lot more than the overall week. Though, with Venus having squared the nodes and then Mars squaring the nodes this week, we can definitely understand that the way that we express ourselves, the way that we express our passions, the way that we receive love, the way that we love, the way that we connect to others, and the way that we go about it is under scrutiny. It is definitely something that is, we're checking in and it's getting rearranged. And if we have those idiosyncrasies, those little twists or nudges to our character, then, it's going to get pinched this week. You can think of it as, this. Your pride is going to seriously mess you up right now. And it's orchestrated that way. Think of, this week as kind of being the test of, are you really an adult? Are you really? Maybe going before the dissertation board, right? And having to prove your dissertation before you earn your PhD, till you get to the point where now you don't have to take any more tests. Now you write the tests. Oh, you think that you're so good at this that you don't have to take any more tests, or that you deserve to be called a master. Well, then you're going to have to prove yourself. You're going to have to go through these trials. And the aim of the trials is your Achilles heel. And your Achilles heel is your pride, is believing that you're ready, right? And the one way to answer or respond, am I ready, is, do I have patience? Do I even need this validation? Can I listen to and be in the midst of being questioned, being doubted, even being hated on, and know that that's about them, not about me. The only person I ever have to prove my love to is God itself, is the total, is the entirety. And if I continue to be linked through my integrity, then I no matter what I go through, can't be thrown off my path. There will be such temptations. I use the metaphors this week of the book of Job. I use the metaphors this week of Pinocchio and the fox trying to pull him off. And I'll also use the metaphor, especially when it comes to love and romance, this week of Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Birthmark, which is basically, let's go back, a test of our faith, a test of our pride, and a test of our obsessiveness. All of those things are going to be the striking point for the devil, Saturn, to come in and say, well, I'm testing you here. Can you live up to and live through this test? It's not going to be your whole life. 10 to 1, it's only going to be one aspect of your life. And that aspect is going to be what you feel you've gotten down, what you feel you think you're so good at, nobody can bring you down at, what you think you is so secure, nobody can touch it. And that's really what they want to strike at right now, that energy of, oh, I can undo anything. You know, that's my job. If I can undo it, I guess it's not as good as you thought it was. Think about that mentality right now. When you come into this, I don't think anybody's safe from it. Our house is going to be coming down, war is going to be started. All of those things I haven't even gotten into the prediction of, because I'm really not a historical predictor. I just work with energies of how it's going to impact us individually, how it's going to feel, and how we can get through it. Right? So if you're asking for those like historic messages, maybe find a historic astrologer. But ultimately, what I do know, since all of astrology, including astrology that filters down to the individual, it's all historic. It's a combination of patterns that experts have looked at for tens of thousands of years. So I can definitely say with confidence that I know this week is going to try us. It's going to be a trying period. And when I mean emotional, I don't necessarily mean sad, like boo-hoo. I mean frustrating, angry. And I do mention, especially on one day, because I'll do the day-by-day play-by-play, guys, that you got to watch out for violence. Like, there's not just violence in you getting so aggressive you'd be willing to punch somebody or put a bat through somebody's car, but somebody might be willing to do that to you. So you have to understand the volatility of the moment and how, and it's toward the end of the week when the moon goes into Cancer. Cancerian energy is very violent energy because it's so defensive, and it strikes out to defend, and it justifies the defense but I'm doing it to protect something or someone that I love and care about. And so I always I guess I do kind of joke, Cancerians can wake up with blood on their hands and not know how it happened, because the energy of Cancer, when it gets to that point of defensiveness, like that mama bear defensiveness, it just goes batshit crazy and loses its brain and wreaks havoc, and then ultimately regrets it. So that's what I want to avoid happening as much as possible this week, is living to regret something that you could have stopped if you realize you don't really have to defend yourself against this attack. And if you're being attacked against something that you do have to defend yourself against, there are other people that you can call on to intervene so that you don't have to. And I don't want to like put alarms up, red flags, this is going to happen to everybody. But I'm saying it could get that extreme this week simply because of the level of volatility and the pressure point being what is most tender and most important to people. And so, bam, it's like that's what you want to protect more than anything. But really, if you have faith, you know that it is already protected. It is cared about. It is cared for. And you got to give it over to God and have faith and say, you know what, he, she, whatever pronoun you want to use to associate God. God's not going to lead me this far just to disappoint me or mess with me. I can see the way through. I'm going to get through it. It's not only is it going to be okay, it's going to be really so much better, because all of this is part of the transitioning and the leveling up. This ego test is the test right before the accomplishment. And so if it's the hardest test, it's like the devil visiting Jesus in the story of the Bible. I know this because I was raised in the Christian faith. The devil visiting Jesus before he gets crucified. Hey, I have a way out for you. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's really kind of like the fox in Pinocchio. Hey, I have a way out for you. You don't want to do this hard work. You're tired of this hard work. You've been working on this for too long. You know you deserve better. Well, if you know you deserve better, then you should also know that better is definitely there for you. It's coming to you. It's a guaranteed, and so you don't have to try or take a shortcut or rip in the other direction. All you have to do is have faith. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is going to be no easy task this week to hold yourself back, to stay your hand, and to not get tempted away. I'm just letting you know that right now. And I'm going to try to give you tools on the day-by-day, play-by-play, including the mantras of how to stay on track and how to stay on path and how to keep yourself calm so that you know, so that you can feel yourself, grounding yourself, and get some sort of security. Interestingly enough, I looked in Llewellyn's Witch's Date Book, and this was what was there. You could take a screenshot of it. The bow to the earth. The bow to the earth. And if you watch on Instagram, born_without_boundaries, you guys can find me over there doing a daily tarot card reading. And I discuss things like this every day over there. I thank the earth for supporting me. I need to be grounded today, as well as grateful, as well as connected all week long. This is going to help you to stay grounded, to stay connected, to realize I'm not alone. People are not pushing me up my back against the door. Just to know that I am protected and I am guarded and I am not alone. You ready? All right, so the weekly astrology forecast for August 1st to the 7th, the ego test. This is the week of the ego test. Do you control your ego, or does it control you? You'll feel set upon by things that you thought you've left in the past. You thought, oh, I already took care of this. Why is it back? It's going to make you scared. It's going to make you agitated. It's going to make you pissed. You may even feel like the crowds have gone crazy and that everyone is against you. Remember, the haters pay more attention to you than the ones who love you, and that's just the truth. And it'll really be felt today, this week. This is the attention you don't want. It's to bait you. That's what you have to know, man. This juicy worm is being put in front of you to bait you. Stay focused on the good, on the loveliness, the stuff that is beautiful in your life, because it's still there. I guarantee you. If you don't let your ego run wild, you'll be able to see very easily that the good is still there. It's in the little things, and that's what is so important to recognize, because Mars and Venus are both in Virgo, and Virgo is always focused on the details and the little things, and almost like the taking the time to make sure that everything is taken care of before we move on to the next step. And that may be boring and that may be frustrating, but it's in those tiny steps that you will find the most security in this energy right now. Remember, you don't have to defend or announce what you are. Living it will speak for itself. That's all you need. Have faith in your integrity. It will be difficult this week, but that's the point of this week. Use the increased vitality and stamina that you'll feel, because that's what it is. You'll feel so much stamina and vitality that you could easily use it in that bad sense of just going off path and veering out, in the wrong direction because I just need to get this energy out. No. Use this energy use this energy toward the projects that you're working on, and I hate spell check because it twists my words and it does it so fast I don't even see it. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. But see, that's like the vitality, right? The mentality right now. So don't let the vitriol pull you away from what you've committed yourself to. And that vitriol is, those negative terms, those thoughts in your head, all that bashing. Don't let it. It will be difficult this week, but that's the point of this week. Because that's what it wants to do. It wants to try to pull you away. So don't let it. Use your oppositional energy, because that's, I guess, what I would sum it up as. You'll feel very oppositional to things. And if you have issues with and I say this later on, if you have issues with OCD, ADD, ADHD, or any kind of oppositional behavior, this week is going to try you to your limits. So just know that right now, that those strings are going to be pushed. And the thing is, you guys may actually be really good at handling this week because you've learned how to handle yourself on a normal day. You know, and since you've already have the skills of how to modulate through these kind of energies, you might do really, really well. But everybody else is going to be very challenged. But you should still watch, because it will push your strings, and you know, you're a person just like everybody else. Use your oppositional energy to defy the temptation to get distracted and caught up in the mudslinging. For those of you that are quiet and withdrawn, or in those areas of your life where you usually run and hide or don't want a lot of attention, the energy this week will force you out of your comfort zone, making way for some big breakthroughs. This will all be divinely guided. For the rest of us, or in the areas where we are most proud and most confident, well, get ready to be played by Saturn, because he's going to bait you. Let the trials begin. So we have Sunday, July 1st. And I hope everybody woke up and said, rabbit, rabbit. Because I'm sorry, it's not July 1st, it's August 1st. Ah! That's so funny. Yeah. I'm typing as I go. So Sunday, August 1st, rabbit, rabbit, good luck in this new month. We start the week with the sun trine the south node and sextile the north node, Saturn sextile the south node and trine the north node, and Venus square both nodes, with a grand fire trine between the sun in Leo, Chiron in Aries, and the south node at Sagittarius. Holy cosmic check-in, Batman. Today and the next 2 weeks are going to be like a test. A big daddy Saturn test. Are you really ready to level up? It's like the father coming in to slam his son, and in this case, the actual son's reputation, just to see what he's really made of. Is he really a man, or will he crumble like a child? Like the book of Job, are you only good when things are good, or can you shine even when there are clouds? Because the true light of the sun comes from within us. Our sun, or our sense of self, is powered from within. We are our own shine. Can you remember the kiss of the sunshine through the fog? Can you still believe in love when you're brokenhearted? This is the test of Saturn now, to see, are you grown or just saying you are? Remember that the outer planets create the tests, but the inner planets deliver them. And it's Venus that is square the nodes in Virgo. Expect to be tested where finance, especially large purchases like homes, cars, boats, businesses, and love are concerned. Can you love them when they're getting bored? Like a person. Like, can you love a person even when things are getting boring? Or, I thought money was all good, and now this bill, or this loss of a client, or this loss of income, or this obligation comes up. What's going on? These are the tests. Tests of faith. Are you connected to God really? And God lives within you, so do you still believe in yourself when you are getting attacked, or when people are not agreeing with you, or things aren't going your way? Will you change for others or stand in your certainty, allowing old connections to go because you know new ones will arrive? Are you strong enough? Mercury is still working well with the sun, so you should have excellent clarity where your truth is concerned. Act upon this. It is your greatest ally at this time. The blessing here is that if you hadn't leveled up, you wouldn't even be getting tested. It's like you're here because you're ready. Saturn doesn't waste his time on just anyone. Your nose in the dirt right now is your time to shine. Will you stay true to love, faith, and hope, or will you cower? The biggest assaults right now will be on your pride, popularity, and ease of living. This is how Saturn will try to get at you, using those weapons through money and your relationships. But be aware. Be aware, but don't be wary. And don't be pushed. We're lucky that Mars is in Virgo now, where he does get caught up on details. The details will come for you right now. It's the details that demonstrate the level of expertise. But use this as your weapon. Let Saturn reveal the blueprint he's working off of so you can build something better. Be observant now and faithful, and you will win. Mantra for Sunday: I am unconditional love and light. I shine. I am my own light. Monday, August 2nd comes around. Confrontation today between those things you choose for your own happiness and those things that are pissed that you did. This is when what comes back to you are all the feelings, people, etc., that your decision to go after your own happiness hurt or suffered for. This could play out as just tension or opposition from haters or a physical confrontation even. So it's a spectrum of extremes. This be wary. Be aware, I should say. Mars in Virgo will justify its actions through intellect. It has a tendency to find an excuse for why it's okay to do things that it tells others they shouldn't do. Hypocritical behavior will come back at you today. Watch your words. It's better to listen today and work through compassion rather than insist on your right to do things. Honor other people's pain as their own experience. The trick to this energy is how we do things. Do we do them with integrity or selfishness? These themes will come up today. Make sure you don't make promises you can't keep, because you will have many choices and energy. Think almost like the Seven of Cups. There's going to be so many options, right? But your discernment will not be an excuse. Your discernment will not be acute, and your standards will be compromised. So watch out for saying yes when you haven't thought things through, especially when it comes to impressing the crowd. That will be the tool of Saturn right now, the will of the crowd. Fitting in could compromise your standards. Don't let it. Believe me, you have more time than it feels like. Essentially, you are being baited by the cosmos. Remember, you know what feels right. Does this? Love and romance may be especially compromised, thinking you have to compromise your standards based on what you have in front of you. Feeling stifled will be the key challenge now. The key word today is oppositional. You could rally against the crowd with such a fever that it burns you. And with Mercury still in service to the sun, you'll be professing your manifesto intentionally to the very people that you know will hate you, just to get under their skin. Get ready to look for a fight, especially concerning dogma. This is a day when the rally against cancel culture could get very violent. Don't let it hurt you or your potential. Today is definitely a day to avoid interviews or any kind of official communications, because the opposition will burst out of you. You won't be able to help it. Can you stay inside? Take a self-care day, because this is a good day for that. Something that will help to relax you. In the news, there will be confrontations between people who are tired of being nitpicked and the people who love to tell others what to do. Basically, don't get distracted today by the short temper and soapbox you've been carrying around. Stay focused on your heart space, not your celebrity. Mantra: I honor your beliefs as you honor mine. I accept what is yours and hold the boundaries to what is mine. I am focused. My path is clear when I see it with my heart. I will not be baited by my ego. Tuesday, August 3rd. Oh Lord, if it doesn't feel like it's all unraveling. Now Mars is square the nodes, and it feels like everything we do is under scrutiny, especially if it doesn't go along with the popular opinion. But the truth is, we could avoid a lot of confrontation if we don't look for it. It sounds like oh duh, but no, it's almost like in some ways you're looking for a fight this week because you got to have something to do with the energy. But there are better things to do with your energy than engage in the volatility of the energy. Do you know what I'm saying? We learn from this energy that we don't always have to shout back, because faith is the answer here. If they're acting like idiots, and it really is so, then their own idiocy will catch up to them. Please remember, you don't have to be the martyr. You don't have to be the sacrificial lamb. You do have to hold true to your beliefs, but only if you're invited to. Don't go looking for arguments or reasons to speak up. That would be an act of ego, and it will most likely get you mobbed. In fact, the mobs may come for you today, metaphorically speaking, hopefully. This is the day when it seems like everyone is after you. This is the test today. Do you react or see through the test? Because when this energy passes when this energy passes and you're still standing is when you will pass the test. So resist the temptation to get caught up in the tide by trying to swim against it. This is a time when any small steps you tried to skip will catch up with you and trip you up. So be sure to not make the same mistakes in the future. Make sure to not give credit make sure to not give credit where it isn't due. And make sure to not love where it isn't true. Just because it is what is available to you. Stay grounded in the long game, not the moment. Mantra: I have better things to do than get distracted by you. I am focus. I am purpose. Through calm, I achieve my victory. Grounding and meditating today is highly recommended. Wednesday, August 4th. Well, the mood heads into Cancer. A moody potion, to say the least. A moody position, to say the least. And sextile Mars, we may not be able to contain our moods, but a wonderful magic happens with a Cancer moon. The energy of the divine clown. Cancer moons know how moody it is, and it's in that moodiness it finds compassion, how to empathize with the emotions of others, perhaps even a way to express the emotions of others, saying things that relieve not only your own stress, but the stress of others. Use comedy in this energy. It is the divine clown, greatest of gifts. It's all about saying what needs to be said in a way that others will hear themselves in. This could happen during the Cancer moon, especially with its trine to Jupiter and Aquarius. On this day, using humor as your tool, speak from your heart and you will speak for others as well. Uranus is squaring Mercury, combust the sun. So if you speak from what you know, you'll come off as pushy and overconfident. Acknowledge the feelings of others by breaking the ice with your emotional vulnerability. You can even make fun of yourself a bit as long as you don't allow yourself to be the target of everyone's tomatoes. Remember, the divine clown allows the divine to flow through them. It doesn't become the punching bag for everyone's angst. It controls the energy of the room through truth and courage, and a preternatural connection to the human psyche. So you're in other words, being highly attuned to know what the crowd needs or wants. But at the same time, not getting distracted by it to let it sway you, just to let you know which moves to take. Trust. That's what you'll need today. If you can, sit where the water meets the shore. by the edge of a lake, river, stream, or best of all, the ocean. Grounding yourself in a salt bath is a good practice today that will offer you clarity, taking away swelling or too many memories you've held on to. This energy reminds us to be humble. Remember where you've been helped by the steadfast and sure aspects of life that can feel boring or even limiting. So even though they feel boring or limiting, they've helped you. How have they helped you? They protected you, right? So trust in the slow and steady right now. Appreciate the support. Where the sea meets the land has always been the most abundant of places to live. It's true. Check the shoreline. It's always the most populated spot. It's this divine balance that secures us in life on earth. So mantra, I am gratitude. I am silly and goofy and beautiful in my imperfections. My imperfections connect me to others through theirs. My courage encourages them. Thursday, August 5th. Be careful of doing too much for others today or going too far with social causes. The moon's aspects to Jupiter and Neptune will deceive our sensibilities, making us inclined to do too much and go too far because we're feeling so much for our social causes or ideals, putting too much of ourselves on the line. Being that the moon is in Cancer, we may be too willing to play the stooge for someone else's mistakes, so be wary of doing this. The divine clown remains in control of his stage. He's a conduit for spirit, not a buffoon. Don't throw yourself on the fire today. There are better, stronger ways to deal with things. Today, that might come up. Today, what might come up are those moments in our lives when we... Hold on. When those moments in our lives where we took unjust hits for someone or something else, we have to face this and let it be revealed. So that could be good or bad. You know, it's like those times we let ourselves be the stooge for somebody else. The truth may be coming out about that now. You know, pride is the enemy today, but so is subjugation. How have we allowed our sensibilities to create a fantasy of what is right instead of seeing the truth of the situation? These situations could be all coming up again. Resurfacing situations are all karmic. That's what Saturn sextile the South Node does. How have we skipped over some necessary responsibilities? Will we cave and do the easy thing, imagining our way into delusional intelligence, pretending that our fears actually make sense? It's time to grow up and balance our sense and sensibility. We need them both, balanced and working together. We could be confronted today about how pleasing others has hindered our personal development. It's an interesting string of lessons. With Jupiter back in Aquarius in retrograde, we're asked to take another look at how doing what others want is not always aligned with their greater good. The mob mentality is not what Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius want us to create. What is really in alignment with truth and justice? Be honest this time around. Be true to your beliefs, even if they aren't popular. In fact, mostly Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius is about revealing where the crowd has been unjust, you know, and where for the greater good has been used for actually something bad. And that's what gets put on trial right now. So the mantra for Thursday, power in popularity is a lie. I am truth. I am courage. I am the difference. And you don't have to stand on your soapbox or make it some big thing. Just live the difference and live in your truth. Friday, August 6th. Overall, you could feel an overwhelming need to go home over the next couple of days. Today reaches an emotionally explosive peak with the moon opposite Pluto trine Neptune. Everything we want can feel so far away because the sun is still square Uranus. And where we may not be able to articulate what we feel, we will feel it intensely, which causes an issue. It is this intense, but I knew, or I just felt it, emotional grip can get us into some major trouble right now if we decide to act violently or in any extreme way, or that the extreme way is the only way to go, because it's not. It's not. And with the moon still in Cancer, this means feeling defensive. Remember, Cancer becomes volatile when it feels unsafe, or that something it loves is unsafe. And that feeling of unsafe mixed with the entitlement to make everything safe, that mother energy, can convince many that they have a right to act out their rage and desperation just to protect something or someone. All in all, this is an emotionally volatile day set to create or catalyze a massive change in our lives. I don't think I have to tell you to always stay away from violent behavior, even if you find an intelligent sounding reason for it. It is always a bad idea, but this is an energy that could push us to do so, say, or try something we never would have before. And in doing this, make or break our current relationships. If we become too dependent on our partners for our lives to feel right, this can be an explosive day. The change or tension has been building for a while now, with both Venus and Mars having squared the nose recently. The nodes of the moon now, making how we relate to others, how we connect to others, a key factor in why we are shifting and how that shift is occurring. The impulse to overreact is strong, and for those who know they have OCD, ADHD, ADD, this is an especially trying day where it will feel near impossible to control your impulses and obsessions. But remember, you have experience with this. You do. In fact, maybe you can try to help use your experience to help others figure this stuff out. The sun is just so done with all the restrictions and judgments of Saturn and demands change. You're honest. This energy could work for you if it helps you face family trauma or family karma, making you realize how making a change is how you heal the past and clear out the way for the future. So watch out between Friday and Saturday, especially. Watch out for obsessive behavior as the moon moves into Leo. Just watch out for it. That's when that Nathaniel Hawthorne, the birthmark comes in. It's like, don't overanalyze your lover or your love relationship. Don't obsess over those little things that are going wrong. I know the devil is in the details, but literally it's not in the details. It's in the whisper of your ear that something's wrong with the details. Is there really something wrong? Like, if you've ever read Nathaniel Hawthorne's The book, The Birthmark, you'll know that there was nothing wrong with his wife. She was absolutely exquisite. And if he had just stood back for a second and stifled his own pride, he'd realize that the birthmark made her even more beautiful, because it was a signature of her uniqueness, not a pox on her perfect beauty. Her beauty was perfect because of that uniqueness. So it is definitely a day to be careful and wary of obsessive ideas and ideations, and to stay away from letting the details be used against you. That kind of thing. It's like, say, I can see that it's not perfect. I know that I'm not perfect. I do want to do better. Absolutely. But to wreck everything right now, to somehow just change everything now, that's not doing better. That's actually going to hurt things. You know, also, what are these details? And do they really make me a bad person, or do they make me a more complete one, a more whole one, a more compassionate one? Show how those details are actually beauty marks, not birthmarks, right? It's almost like when does something become a beauty mark instead of a birthmark? When you take ownership of it, when you take acceptance of it, when you accept it as a part of your whole picture instead of imagining your picture without it. So that's really the sort of scope and magnitude of maturity right now, and especially over these next couple of days. So the mantra for Friday: breathing, meditation, and grounding are going to be required today. Chant Om repeatedly to remove the ego and connect unconditionally to everything around you. Sit in silence with your breath for as long as you need to, and as many times during the day as you need to. So there isn't a specific mantra. It's just going to be that chant, that universal sound, Om, that universal vibration, connecting to others, connecting yourself, grounding yourself. That's going to help you see the beauty in diversity, and even in your own diversity, and it's going to help ground you and make you calmer so that you can actually work your way through this as opposed to overreacting. And then we have Saturday, August 7th. Now this is the day before the new moon. The new moon in Leo, so the moon is now in Leo, and the new moon in Leo happens on the 8th. So I talk a little bit about that in here to give you a little bit of a preview, but we'll definitely go back and talk about that over the week. The new moon in Leo is tomorrow, which will be August the 8th, which resets your path in life or your way in life. A new us could be on the horizon. It is a better version of you, or is it a better version of you, or have you fallen prey to your weaker self and reset back to your starting point? Maybe some of us need to start over. We will definitely, some of us will definitely want to. The desire for a reset will be strong now because more than ever, we are realizing how we don't fit or don't agree or aren't like everybody else, and we don't want to be. But just like everyone, we do want to belong. Let me read that again because I feel like it was a little confusing. So we are realizing how we don't fit in or don't agree or aren't like everyone else. And we're also realizing that we don't want to fit in or be like everyone else, but we do want to be connected. So it's not like we want to change who we are. We want to be loved for who we are. So this conflict of why can't I just be loved and accepted for myself, for who I am, is what we're working out and what we've been working out really all week. Let it come out. Let it flow. We could use our own ability to communicate, to speak what we feel. Remember, words can cast spells. So when you say things, focus on what you want to be true rather than what is hurting you. For example, I deserve to be loved for who I am, rather than why don't you love me, or no one will ever understand me. Those are spells you're casting, and they become your truth. So say those things, take almost like the progressive aspect of them. I deserve to be loved for who I am. Even if you're feeling inside, why don't you love me, or no one will ever understand me, think, okay, but so how do I solve that? I deserve to be loved for who I am. And that's what you speak out loud, because words cast spells and you have to be aware of it. We may feel these things, but when we speak, we have to take control of that emotion and direct its energy to serve the need, to fill the need, rather than to increase it. We may be dealing a lot with the notion that something is deserved before it has been earned, as if we are so done waiting or working that we want to fight now for what is still a ways away. Be careful in the next few days of being tempted by get-rich-quick schemes and instantaneous success stories. Think of Pinocchio and the fox that lured him off track. You have a dream, and that dream is beautiful. It will come true when the time is right, not when you say the time is right. Or, okay, stop. Let me go back. It will not come true in desperation, because desperation is a complete lack of faith. And that's what we have to be wary of, and wary of that fox tempting us off our path. Like using that desperation to harm us and distract us. Think Pinocchio. All this emotion can be so exhausting that it's our own worst enemy right now. We will see the impulsivity in others, but when it comes to ourselves, we'll somehow just feel justified. Don't. We're prone to act as stupid as everyone else. Patience is the key to maintaining your true north now. And that is the only tool that will get you through this energy this week. Wield it well, and you will win. Drop it, and you'll be reset and have to start over. This is how we're being tested now. Don't be baited into rushing your process. Trust the path, not the potion. As in the tonic, the elixir, the easy solution. Mantra for Saturday: I am patient. I am calm. I follow my true north even when everything tempts me otherwise. I am value. I am wisdom. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me throughout another weekly astrology motivation. If you love this video, please share it on your social media platforms so that your friends can enjoy these messages too. Also, subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. Hit all notifications so you always know when I upload. And please check out Born Without Boundaries Tarot. That's the premier channel for Born Without Boundaries Astrology Motivation. And that's where you will get your 12 weekly zodiac specific messages. Also, check out Born Without Boundaries over on Vimeo. You can subscribe over there for free, and you'll get notified as soon as I upload the extended videos. The extended videos are an in-depth look into the energies for this week, zodiac sign specific. And then, of course, join me here on Monday. Remember that this Monday, we're going to be focusing on how to manifest yourself out of a rut, or how to start manifesting your dreams when you are stuck or feel stuck in a rut, like your life has stagnated. Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, so that's Los Angeles time, I will be over here talking to you and teaching you different ways and strategies on how to use manifestation to get you out of a rut. And then, of course, you can find me over on Instagram, born_without_boundaries. Yeah, we can shoot the shit with the daily tarot. And that's where I'll describe bow to the earth. And I'll demonstrate it because it uses yoga moves. So bow to the earth is, it's just a beautiful little guide that could really guide, or a series of very easy physical movements based on yoga moves that can help you really ground your energy this week. I'm not telling you to take no moves and to not take any risks or chances. I'm telling you to do it from your heart, not from your fear or your anger. Do it from your God space, not your desperation, which is making you reach for the bait that the devil is tempting you with. I'm telling you that these are going to be very in your face energies right now. And where they're really baiting you is in those places that you take the most pride, right? Where the energies can really help you is in the energies where you never really felt very good about yourself. And it would take this much energy to make you try something a little bit different, especially if you, I know I can never do that. I can't do that. But you can do that, you know? Say relationships is your low spot, and, you know, you've been single for a long time and you kind of like have given up, but not in a sad way, just in the, you know, maybe it's just not for me kind of way. This is a great energy to get yourself to talk to somebody or make attempts that you normally wouldn't take, you know. Whereas if you're really prideful with, you know, I can drive cars really, really well. I'm excellent at it. I'm an expert. I've been in the Indianapolis 500. I've placed in the top 3 car, all this thing, like I'm an expert at this. Well, that's where the devil is going to bait you. You know, he's going to have people coming at you, questioning your authority, asking you questions about little tiny details you may not even know the answer. And all of those things will get at your pride, right? Well, I'm an expert, but I don't know the answers to these. Well, say, you know what? This is a great learning experience. I mean, I've come this far and I've accomplished this much. All of that is still true. Just because you've got something more to learn doesn't mean you're not an expert. It means that you've got a longer journey with what you love. And there's more to learn and farther to go. And that's exciting. So let that information in. Don't let it hit you with your pride and block you and get you into fights and aggression and defensiveness against what? Against not being perfect. This is where we accept our imperfections and we don't allow somebody to make us feel bad for having them. I love you guys so much. Please do leave your comments below and be sure to subscribe to Astrology Motivation and Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I'll see you guys in the videos or on the dailies. Talk to you soon.